It's gonna work. All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting USDA to come and speak to you all at the Soundhorse Conference. I wanted to let you guys know I come here as a representative of the department, but also I do come here as a avid horse person as well. I usually have not told many people about me or personally or anything like that because usually we try not to do those things in the government. However, I'm going to do that now. So I actually have been riding horses ever since I was 5 years old. I showed horses in 4-H and local shows and so forth, English, Western, barrel racing, a lot of horse riding up until I started college. Once I got to college, I pretty much had to be dedicated to that. So I ended up graduating from Michigan State, 2002, from the veterinary school there. And after that, I did end up going to Lexington, Kentucky, and did a fellowship there at one of the really reputable equine hospitals, as well as I went to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and worked for the Crown Royal Prince there and worked on his horses. So I have worked on the most expensive horses in the world. So there's a thought that, when this position, the National Horse Protection Coordinator, came open in 2007, with my credentials and so forth, I'd be prepared to take this position. Mind you, I was 30 years old at that time, too. So I had no idea about what I was going to get involved in. No idea. Like I said, I've been around horses ever since I was 5. When I got engaged in this and saw the type of soaring and abuse going on, I had no idea. And I've seen a lot of horses. So a lot of people told me that I would lateral over to another position after 2 years. I was way over my head, especially being at a young age. However, I'm still in. It's my 7th year. As well as I was also serving in the military as a public health officer at that time during these 7 years in the Air National Guard. So I did have other things going on. However, I have been really, really dedicated to this position, and I don't regret anything that I've done to push the enforcement of the Horse Protection Act. I've realized, though, in order to have this position for a long time, you're going to have a lot of energy, a very strong backbone. You can't let anybody get to you because, obviously, that's happened quite a bit with me. And you have to remain positive and focus on the end result. So I feel like we have made a lot of progress since I've been in my position. Still, we have a lot more work to do, and I feel like one of the biggest reasons why we have still a lot of work to do is because I feel that there's a lot of people that don't understand the definition of soaring. I've noticed many people say different things, and as you can see here in the Horse Protection Act, what the definition of a sore horse is: to use irritating blister agent, burn, cut, laceration, have a tack, nail, screw, chemical agent injected by a person on a horse, any substance or device being used by a person on a horse. But a big part that people don't realize is this last part right here. A person has engaged in a practice involving a horse. So, right? Okay. So I've heard a lot of different things since I've been in my position that people are like, well, this isn't really considered violating the Horse Protection Act or the regulations or considered a sore horse. However, sorry. But I want you to realize that, yes, the use of Gojo, S&T orange, or chain grease is in violation of the Horse Protection Act. A horse that responds painfully after palpation to one leg, that is in violation of the Horse Protection Act. A horse that doesn't have visible scars, but you can feel them, that is a violation. And a horse presented for inspection that has a coffin bone rotated more than 5 degrees, that is a violation of Horse Protection Act. And like Dr. Turner had mentioned recently, yes, the horse could be rotated because of some other condition, it's foundered or something, it could be grain overload, something, but still, that person presented that horse to inspection in that manner. So, and they shouldn't have done that, but they did. So that person is involved in storing that horse. Other things, horse that has metal applied in the performance package, that's a violation. Metal applied inappropriately after it's gone through inspection, like the video, the x-ray that Dr. Turner showed earlier. A horse presented to inspection that responds positive to a hoof tester. Yes, they could be responding positive to the hoof tester because they have a hoof abscess. However, that individual did present that horse to inspection in that manner, and they shouldn't have done that. A horse found with scars after showing, but was not found with scars before showing. We get a lot of masking agents put on the horses pre-show. It all comes off after a post-show. Horse presented to inspection that does not freely lead. It appears a bad image. You brought that horse knowing that it can't lead and it can't go around those cones. You're in the act of soaring. As well as, I took this from Dr. Turner's presentation too, improper shoeing can cause soaring. Just like you see right there, those wrinkles, it's already there. Like you said, put a chain on that, boom, you have a scar. It's already started. So the bottom line, soaring, is anything done by a human, deliberately or even accidentally, to a horse that will cause it pain. We get a lot of times people say, oh, I didn't know, I didn't realize that I did that. Well, oh well, you should have realized it. We can't fix stupid. So, some statistics that we have, that I have for you guys, because I know you're interested in this, for 2013. We had about 56,321 inspections performed. I would say that's approximately 65% flat shod, 35% padded. However, I don't have all of the numbers still for 3 of the HIOs, Western International, FOSH, and National Walking Horse Association. So that flat shod number probably will be going up because I know they have flat shod horses there. So total violations, 488. Inspections performed when we were in attendance, about 10,000. Violations issued when we were in attendance, 416. 85% of the violations are found when we're there. So obviously you see there's still a big problem that we're having with the DQPs. So we are moving forward in changing the regulations to take over the training and licensing of the DQPs. So you will see that coming in the near future. We are working very hard to get that moving as quickly as possible because we notice that is a huge concern. Oh, dang it. This thing is fast. Okay, I think that's what I wanted. Yeah. Total violations found in padded horses, of those 416, 392. Violations found in flat shod, 24. Total padded horses disqualified, 358. Flat shod horses disqualified, 23. Foreign substance sampling. We did 314 samples in 2013, 195 positives. Still are finding masking agents, numbing agents, irritants. We are inspecting our swabbing horses when they go out in the warm-up arena, as well as post-show. We've noticed on some of them that something that we found positive pre-show, and there's something found differently post-show on some of the horses. Some of the type of substances we've been finding: cinnamon oil, kerosene, boric acid, copper tox, diesel, palmolive, benzocaine, and lidocaine, and Gojo cleaner. and I'm not going to talk about this because Dr. Turner already, I forgot he was presenting. Thermography, the cold pattern, we are utilizing thermography more and more. We are, like individuals are always saying, more objective inspections. We definitely are always doing as much as we can with that, as well as palpating the horses, because that's a very important part of our inspections, as well as the corrugated patterns. Oops, dang it. For the scars, we are noticing that as well, and we are using that as much as possible. This thing. All right, yeah. Are you doing this at the same time? Is that what? Like, you're messing with me? What's going on here? Gosh. All right, so these are findings that we had last year with digital radiographs, rotation. Here is the illegal trim, or right here, illegal trimming of the horse's feet. Also here, where the metal band has tightened too far and it's starting to crack the hoof wall. Yeah, go ahead. Here as well, objects found underneath the hoof. Right here, metal found. So we are using more and more digital radiographs at the horse shows when we were there. And our attempt to actually utilize objective technology, thermography, digital imaging, foreign substance, iris scanning, everything that we're using, we're hoping we started, but we don't want to always be the one to end it. We want the industry to also utilize it as well. However, we haven't seen that happen yet. So these types of devices are not that expensive. We buy them, we've had thermography cameras for, I don't know, maybe 8 years. So they work very well. So it's possible that the individuals that are inspecting horse shows can do this too. This was also something else we found, the blue putty. Notice that. You can see here, the whole sole is paired out, and that's applied in there. Drug testing, we are doing that as well. In 2012, 50 samples, 7 positive. 2013, 189 samples, 13 positive. Ace-promazine, a sedative, found that a lot. Fluphenazine, it's an antipsychotic actually for humans, but it also can be used as a sedative. That was found. Stanzolol is an anabolic steroid. And one that's been really big that we've noticed is diclofenac. It's a the brand name is called Surpass, but it's a topical gel for anti-inflammatory. So that's been pretty concerning to us because trying to figure out why is this being utilized so much. And this is the chart. USEF, United States Equestrian Federation, and FEI. Those drugs that were found, you see here, these are the actual penalties. So quite a large penalties for these drugs. Iris scanning, we are doing that now. I don't know if some of you guys have seen that, but we have not noticed any type of individual identification on the horses within the walking and racking horse industry. So we've been attempting to utilize the iris scanner when we're at horse shows. This has been working out really well. We're hoping to put a database online of the horses that we have identified on there. I think it would also be really important in the future for anyone that wants to purchase that horse, and then they also can see if it was ever found in violation. Because I get a lot of phone calls sometimes from individuals that bought a walking horse but had scars, and then they didn't know what it was because they didn't know that there were scars on a horse and how it would look. All right, so I have a question for you guys. And who is responsible to enforce the Horse Protection Act? Donna? Do you guys all agree? USDA? Figured. Yeah, can you? You click it? Can you click it? We all are. All of us. Not just USDA. I get that a lot. You need to do this, you need to do that. Yeah, we're trying to do the best we can with the minimum amount of money we have, but it takes everybody to enforce the Horse Protection Act and stop soaring. And I've really noticed that because, the next one, these two individuals, guess how they ended up being penalized? Guess how USDA, the Office Inspector General, HSUS, found out that they were soaring horses? They're friends. Friends. A DQP found them, his horse sore. Found the bolts in the horse's feet. His workers, they called my office. So it was internal. It wasn't us. It wasn't HSUS. Everyone helped in the end, but that's how it started. So you see there is a change, and people are starting to realize that they don't want to be part of this anymore. They don't want to soar horses. So that's what you guys got to realize, that it's everyone. It's really important that we're all doing everything we can. And I put these two up here too because that's all I want to see. I don't want to see a whole menagerie of a bunch of individuals up there being a poster child. I think that's all we need. I know it's important that we try to penalize everyone as possible, but if we can also educate them and they can stop soaring, I think that's really important. I think I was going to ask somebody that is part of the celebration, but I think he's gone, right? Yeah. I was going to ask, actually, I saw Mr. Howard was here, and I was going to ask him if he actually wants to ban anyone else from the celebration because they've soared their horses. I don't think so. So I think we can try to educate them and try to get people to stop soaring their horses and market the walking horse more and more, like everyone's been talking about, I think that will make such a huge difference. That's all I have to say.